Please welcome James Ferrese.
Good evening. I'm James Ferrese, and I was lucky enough to be identified from the lineup of students to get up here and talk in front of all 200 of you, my classmates. And oh yeah, let's not forget all 2,000 of you. When I told my friends I'd be doing this, the one thing they said to me was, "You better make it funny," as if otherwise no one would listen. Unfortunately for you, I'm giving a speech, not a monologue of raunchy jokes. I know, I'm sorry, but I'm very honored to be given this opportunity nonetheless. In thinking back on all the moments that were most memorable throughout high school, I found it difficult to adequately sum them all up. So I did what any reasonable high school student would do. I individually texted all the numbers I had on my cell phone to see what they thought. And the memories I received all mirrored our class's unique strength and cura personalis, care for the person. From day one, our love for one another has been what makes us different. So here are some responses that were appropriate enough to include in the speech in front of grandparents. Starting with freshman year, Will Schober said finding a date to homecoming in under a week was highly memorable. That is, if you even had the guts to ask someone. I didn't. Libby Needham told me her favorite memory was watching Emma Sexton dance her routine on the theater stage to the Black Eyed Peas. Jonathan J. Cathan said his favorite memory was going to the football games and watching this way, that way, Callaway knock the heck out of unexpected linebackers. Entering sophomore year, Tara McElroy said a memorable moment for her was watching Roy Matthew debut his inner diva in the Olympic week skit, in which his character was fittingly named Roy the Pageant Boy. Maggie Danner said she loved the Joe Spalagio karaoke performance, in which Louis McVicker pranced through the gym in front of the entire school in a unitard and a tutu, many sizes too small. Louis, to this day, I'm surprised we did not get jugged for that performance in lifetime. As we moved into junior year, Sam Tappett said his favorite moment was pouring a Gatorade cooler full of water on Mr. Lester after their last JV soccer game. Sam, I think Lester would have preferred if you had sent that water to the Dominican Republic instead. And Holly Brodigan said she enjoyed the post-Kairos feeling when everyone understood KT40A and treated each other so lovingly. Coming from Holly, who uses her black belt karate skills to make my kidneys sore almost every day, this is saying something. Finally this year, our senior year, Victoria Talty said her most memorable moment was when the bus broke down on the return trip to senior pilgrimage. And I think we all wanted more from being stuck between the highway and the cornfield in the beating heat than we did from that actual retreat. And Connor Gossman disagrees, however. He said the dance on the cruise ship after senior pilgrimage was his favorite memory. And I would have to agree that that dance is one of the greatest, merely because the DJ played Low by Flo Rida. Corey Johnson said that his favorite high school memory was the Prep versus Blanchette basketball game, where everyone dressed to the nines in Star Wars costumes. Why, you ask? Because nothing is more rattling than a student section full of evil Sith Lords. And finally, on page 178 of Chris Sale's response, I kid you not, on page 178 of his response to my text, he got a little deep, saying that his most memorable events were watching the end of the year assemblies, as each senior class left the gym, and now realizing that that senior class leaving is ours. For me, My favorite memories are those spent with each of you. Debating Jackica 2.0 and Job's UN. Drag races at red lights on the way to the back-to-school dance, with freshmen in the back seat holding on for dear life. Sorry, Mom. Stuck in a small conference room with guys who were just trying to watch the March Madness games. Going home for lunch with some friends to go for a brief hot tub, and then attending the following class smelling like chlorine in our swimsuits. These are some of our greatest memories. However, I guess every graduation speech also needs a little advice. And I must admit, this advice thing has been my greatest dilemma, because what do I know? Well, it hit me one day exactly what I could say. As I was limbering up, just like this, limbering up for a run, it became obvious. Stay limber. It's beneficial. It's non-controversial. Everyone can do it. Great advice. Be limber. But hang on to your seats. Buckle yourselves in because I'm about to pull a Seattle Prep maneuver here. Mr. Barmore, you're going to love this. So come with me as we explore the minutiae of what it means to be limber. The following is the thesis of my critical analysis on liberties. Thesis. The adjective limber not only refers to the physical flexibility of body parts, but on a deeper level, to one's ability to adjust to new environments, maintain a youthful disposition, and stretch to reach one's goals. This is the totality of what I mean when I say be limber. Now, if that isn't a great so what, Mr. Hickey, burn my diploma now. What I truly mean by be limber is firstly be adaptable. Be able to go with the flow. In less than an hour, we will be heading our separate roads. And each of us is going to have to face it head on. And it's scary. Each of us is going to experience more new things in the next year than we have likely ever experienced. I think, at least for me personally, it is important for us to remember to just go with it. College is said to be the best time of your life, but only if you let it. So be limber, be adaptable. Secondly, by limber, I mean stay young. Don't grow up too fast. This might sound a bit hypocritical as I stand up here using words like disposition and minutia in a thesis statement, but we have the rest of our lives to be old. Let's not rush into it because there's a specialness to youth. The imagination, the potential, the risk-taking. I'd love to go back to the day when my 3 daily activities consisted of playing with Legos, making songs with armpit farts, and building sketchy ramps to skateboard off of. And I have a sneaking suspicion that in 20 years, you'll say the same thing of our time at college. So don't grow up yet. Be limber, be young. Finally, by limber, I mean you should stretch yourself. Chase after your goals, whatever they might be. Keep in mind that you are here to set the world on fire. For those non-Jesuits in the crowd, no, that does not mean to be a pyromaniac. It means go out and take hold of your world. But as you do it, remember what you have been taught here at Prep. A lesson you won't be taught at other high schools. A life fulfilled is a life spent for others. That, not your accomplishments, will be what others remember of you. Be limber, stretch yourself. Now, we've looked into the past, I've given some advice, well, I've attempted to give some advice for the future, but let's not forget the now. All 178 of us are sitting together as a single body, labeled the class of 2015. When we first came together 4 years back, we weren't the class of 2015. We were a huge collection of students from 51 schools who were just trying to get through 2011. Personally, I never thought I would lose that middle school identity. But this year especially, I felt the strength of my bond with each of you, and my hope is that's a unanimous
My arm
feeling.
hurts.
We traveled through something spectacular together. The transition from childhood to adulthood together. Our first time meeting new friends, our first final exams, first time driving, our first parties, our first relationships, our first true mess-ups, and our first true successes. Our first time leading others. All of these things are now on their way to becoming old memories. These 4 years were all stuffed with both bad and good, and that we went through it all together is what made it ours. In less than an hour, the class of 2015, as we have come to know it, will unfortunately be a memory. So hold on to that identity tightly, because I believe it has transformed us all and has the power to continue to do so. So for that, I thank you, class of 2015.